as we seek to boost innovation, taxes on inputs used to make electronic devices are to blame for the sluggish growth of Kenya's ICT sector. According to key stakeholders, taxes are making locally manufactured devices uncompetitive on the global market. Innovators now want the government to scrap off the 25% input duty charged on imported ICT input devices. KTN's Abiagina has more.
The country's ICT sector has continued to receive glowing tributes not only from within Kenya but also from global players as well. But the story is rather different for those who are innovators trying to compete with some of the world leaders such as China.
Importing the same.
Meet Simon Karaoke, an engineer who says his biggest hurdle has been sourcing for cheap raw materials.
Importing the same boat here, it costed me to pay 25,000.
The same story is shared with Mohamed Bare, a young innovator who has invented a communications gadget dubbed Brick that allows consumers to access internet simply and reliably.
Something like the import duty adds on an average something like 25 to 35% of the cost of the product.
One of the things that we could maybe encourage the government policies to look around is to make these ICT-related devices and chips cheaper for us.
Innovators are now calling on the government to scrap off duty on ICT imports to spur growth of the local innovations as well as increase employment.
China is getting expensive and we need to move this production to Kenya. If we keep on producing some of the parts in China, the cost is going to go up. It's going to be unrealistic for us to stay afloat. We need to develop those systems here locally.
Kenya has been punishing local innovators, especially on the hardware sector, where if you import components to assemble here and they give people jobs, you are taxed heavily. But if you import a whole unit, you are not taxed.
The ecosystem is not as developed as we would want.
They also call for the establishment of fabrication laboratories to give innovators a place to nurture their ideas. The first kind of this has been set up by Gearbox, but Dr. Kamau Gashigi, the founder of Gearbox, says creating more centers is critical in positioning Kenya as a manufacturing hub for devices.
Well, manufacturing and engineering in Kenya continues to take shape, with majority of graduates going the ICT way, but the biggest challenge has been around an enabling environment as well as taxation issues. Now, most innovators are pushing for the government to give them more tax incentives so that their local inventions can compete favorably on the global stage. Abiagina, KTN Business.